Okay, so it is Sunday, July 24th, 2016, and we've had kind of a not so great of a time since the last time we did a video. Last night, our video was that we had a wonderful dinner of lobster, and it truly was a really good dinner. However, this morning, Janice woke up feeling terrible. She had stomach problems, upset stomach, and she's pretty much been sick all day. For the most part, having to lie in bed. We've had almost no electricity since we've been here. You can probably hear the rain outside. It's rained a lot yesterday and lightning yesterday, and it rained again today. And so for the majority of our trip we've had no electricity. Not only has Janice been sick and we've had no electricity, but our hosts at this particular house were supposed to know English really well. And so we were kind of excited about that because they would be able to help us plan our next day. We were hoping to go to this place called Maria La Gorda. It's a beach on the very western tip of Cuba, and we've been told that it's we read, and we've been told that it's fantastic diving, scuba diving. So we were hoping to go there next, but right now we don't know if we can because we have, our hosts do not speak good English at all. In fact, only one of the people in the house speaks any English, and his English is about as good as my Spanish, so it's really not very helpful. So here we are. I'm hoping that Janice gets to feeling better soon. She's feeling slightly better than she was earlier today. She hasn't eaten much except white rice and a little bit of bread and a little bit of fruit. But she's also thrown up that, so she really hasn't been able to keep much on her stomach. Let me show you. So the room is very simple. There's the front door there. There's the bathroom door. There's no light in the bathroom except for the window. There is actually light, but it hasn't worked since we arrived. Same goes for the main room right now. Most of the time it's worked, except now we have to use the windows. You can see outside it's raining pretty good. And you can probably hear the thunder and the lightning. Also, another really fun part about this has been the flies. As soon as we arrived, like the second we walked into our room, the windows were all open, and the fan was on, and there were I would say probably 10 flies, a good 8 to 10 flies in the room, just buzzing around, chilling out on our bed, a couple in the bathroom. So the first thing we did was turned on the AC and closed the windows and tried to kill some flies. They don't seem to have fly swatters here, so that's pretty interesting too. Anyway, we're hoping for better times. Today was really, really, boring. We didn't do anything. We were supposed to have breakfast this morning, and we couldn't even do that. We had a little fruit, like I said, and then at lunch, all we had was just a little bit of white rice and bread. And Janice did get some chamomile tea, so that was a nice thing. And I had some coffee, and we've had some water. And that's been what we had today, which is okay. We don't need to eat fancy or, we're not really sure why Janice got sick and I didn't. Possibly the lobster, but we ate seemingly the exact same thing. Maybe she had a bad lobster and I didn't. Janice seems to think she has a stronger stomach than me, so but maybe I'm proving her wrong right now, but typically that's been the case in the past. Anyway, yeah, we're hoping to go to town either later tonight or maybe first thing in the morning, and find someone who can speak English. There's a tourist center in the downtown area, and there's supposed to be some internet, so hopefully they'll be able to help us, book something at Maria LaGorda. Otherwise, if we can't, then we may just head back to Havana earlier than planned, and then maybe go to the other side, head east, or maybe leave Havana. To be honest, we leave Cuba altogether. We haven't completely enjoyed Havana as much, or Cuba as much as we thought we may. The language barrier's certainly been something, although it hasn't been, a deal killer, if you will. We've certainly had some good times, even not completely having great dialogue with people. It's funny, we keep meeting travelers along the way. We took the bus, we took a taxi here, and the people we rode in the taxi with, they call them taxi colectivos, collective taxis, so they pack in a couple of different people, as much as the taxi will hold. It was a kind of a minivan, and the people we rode over with were from Belgium, and it was really, really cool, actually. So they both spoke English. They both spoke Flemish, which is the language in northern Belgium, and they both spoke French, which is the language in the southern part of Belgium. And then the guy out of the couple spoke Spanish fluently. So we were hoping to kind of tag along with them a little bit more while we were here, but then we didn't get their number. That they don't have our number. We don't, not that that even work, because our cell phones don't work. So we haven't been able to catch back up with them. We don't know how to get back in touch with them. So yeah, that's kind of disappointing. They were a nice couple. We enjoyed chatting with them for the 2-hour taxi ride over here to Viñales. So hoping for better times soon. The other really, really interesting thing that's made this particular trip to Viñales really, really challenging was, and Janice mentioned this very briefly last night, but didn't explain it. I left a key. It actually fell out of my pocket in Havana, and it fell out of the pocket at the previous casa that we stayed at in Havana. And by the way, the casa in Havana, we're going to give you their information later. They were wonderful. Yasmin was the hostess's name, and her husband were both really, really, really nice and helpful people. Didn't speak any English at all, but tried really hard to communicate with us and talk slowly, and really nothing but really high marks, and nothing but praise for them. Anyway, the key fell out of my pocket there. Fortunately, they called our casa here and said, "Hey, did Andy leave a key in our place?" And that key was to a lock that was on my backpack, and also on Janice's smaller day pack. So we each have backpacks, and then we have these 2 day packs that attach to our backpacks. So we have 4 bags total, but they can combine to make 2 bags, with the day packs zipping onto the main packs. So out of those 4 bags, we had 2 of the bags that were locked, and we couldn't get in them. And the key to them, there's actually 2 keys. One key was in one of the bags that had the lock on it, and the other key was in Havana. So we had no way of getting into the locks. Fortunately, the one thing that our hosts here have done is they broke into the lock for us. So we're down a lock. That's not a big deal, because we actually have more locks than we need, or at least we did, and I think we still have like 1 or 2 locks extra that we don't have to have for our bags. And big lesson learned is don't put the key inside the bag that you're locking that up with. I thought it would be okay, I guess, in my genius ways, because I had the other key on me, so I was like, oh, it's a good way to protect us, but turned out to be really stupid in the end. But anyway, they were able to hacksaw into the lock and break it open, so we have all access to our suitcases, which is really nice because I've worn the same outfit for 2 days now, including the same underwear. Not too big of a deal. I gotta get used to that anyway, I think. But that was super interesting, not being able to access any of my clean clothes, and a lot of our other things were locked up that we couldn't get into before they were able to break in. And they did it today, so even though we asked them yesterday if they could do it, they said we don't know, we'll find out, and then did it this afternoon. That's all for now.
Go for it.
Oh, some sort of little rodent. There's the snout. That thing is huge. And that woke us up at about 4:30 this morning, along with a couple of roosters. Brooklyn does not sound happy.
One other really fun thing about this place is that the toilet has no toilet seat. And we heard actually that that's just normal here. Apparently a lot of the casa particulares, a lot of the places for people to stay, do not have toilet seats. So I guess you just sit directly on the rim, or else you squat, one or the other.